Welcome back to First Take. Okay, so over at ESPN Bet, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite at 5-1 to win his third MVP award. CJ Stroud is the second favorite, and it's only his second season. The last time a first.
Breece Hall, when you think of what he's done in a limited capacity in New York, never having a guy like Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position, you go out and you add Mike Williams, who can be a deep play threat on the other side of Garrett Wilson, who everybody in the secondary knew is, they threw in the ball to Garrett. Right, and now Breece Hall, who's shown explosivity, right, who's shown he's a guy that can carry the football. When you look at what he was able to do in a record-breaking career at Iowa State, along with Brock Purdy, I think this is the year we finally get to see the fullness of who he is at the running back position, and he will be somebody who I think has a Christian McCaffrey year. And for whatever you want to feel about Jeremy Fowler's list, they actually listed him second behind Christian McCaffrey in the top 10 running backs. I think he can have that sort of effect on this team. Now that defensive may have to play the New York Jets a little differently.
Well, look, we're in the running back conversation. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley, and here's why.
Good one.
I think he's going to make Jalen Hurts healthier and better, number one. And number two, if they get to the point where they're using the tush push and they put him behind center, his statistics, guys, the number of touchdowns, I mean, he may shatter records.
What a slick thought.
Right? I mean, maybe it becomes like the quad whatever, but instead of the tush push. But, I mean.
Would it be the quad wide?
It'd be the quad wide?
I don't like that one.
Excuse me.
we'll
I know what I can't excuse.
We'll parse it out.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with D. Hen. When you look at him as a player, for the last 5 years, this young man was top 2 in rushing yards in the NFL. Now he's going to a Baltimore Ravens, in which they were top 3 in rushing the last 6 years since Lamar Jackson has been there. But here's the catcher. Lamar Jackson has never had a closer outside of himself on that offense. Now he has that with Derrick Henry. So late in games, instead of Lamar Jackson, we're not going to put it all on your shoulders, Todd Monken. We're going to let Derrick Henry do his thing, the same person that led a team to an AFC championship game by himself when Baltimore was the number 1 seed and he went in there and ran crazy. So I'm going to go with Derrick Henry in those regards.
Yeah, last year Baltimore blew fourth-quarter leads to the Colts, Browns, and Steelers. So Derrick Henry to me is a great closer, pass to score and run to win.
How about the thigh drive?
Oh.
Christine, I love you. Don't you dare do that again.
I think we're just going to stick with the tush push.
A year ago at this time, Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles was the belle of the ball, right? Yep. Everybody loved him. He was the guy who was a skyrocket to the moon, all that kind of stuff. And now he falls out of the top 10. The acquisition of Saquon Barkley. What is your perspective on Hurts, what last year meant, and what we expect?
I believe Jalen Hurts plays better this year. We had a good conversation at the upfronts, and he talked.
You and he.
Yes.
Boy, you are everywhere these days. I need to start following you around. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but just in having a conversation with him, he understood what last year was. He knows that his team needs to get better, and he said that it starts with him. It starts with his play. It starts with his leadership. And I asked him too, though. I was like, bro, why you always look so mad? Like why are you so miserable all the time? And he's like, I'm not miserable. He goes, I know what it takes to win. And I knew even when we were winning early, we weren't doing what it took to be a good football team. And eventually it caught up. And he also said for himself that he has to find a way to play better. When you look at what they were offensively last year, there was no creativity. There was no opportunities for Jalen Hurts to have pass run options where he could use his decision making to hurt teams. And it was, if A.J. Brown doesn't make a play down the field, then we're absolutely screwed. I believe going into this year is going to be upon Kellen Moore to get him back to where he was 2 years ago when he was in the MVP race, when they were a Super Bowl runner-up, and when Jalen Hurts was the guy that was America's darling. Because if they don't, I believe these questions will persist. And what the list means to me is that before 2 years ago, people didn't believe in Jalen Hurts, and they feel like last year proved why they didn't believe in him.
So what does the acquisition of Saquon Barkley mean? Dominique Foxworth, if you're a defensive player and you're playing against the Eagles this year, adding him, because they already had a lot of pieces, and they obviously have all those weapons on the outside. What specifically does Saquon Barkley mean for Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just another way to take pressure off of Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts has been an incredible running back, frankly, as part of the asset that he brings to this team and running the push, the Philly special, or not the Philly special, the tush push and all that stuff like that is taking a toll on Jalen Hurts' body. He was injured for part of last year. I think some of the biggest problems with last year was more scheme related than anything, but also it took a toll on his body. So Saquon Barkley could take some more of those hits away from Jalen Hurts, which may allow him to feel better later in the season, which could end up helping him have a better season.
How do you view him as an evaluator, which is what you made your living as for a long time? How do you evaluate Jalen Hurts right now?
Similar to what RC said, I thought he looked beat up last year. He took way too many hits. And it's hard to play quarterback at a high level, Green, when you're not feeling great. And Hembo gave me the stat. Over the last 3 years, he ran the ball more than any other quarterback. So to me, like, Saquon Barkley is going to take a lot off, not only just running, but Saquon Barkley is a great receiver. So I think getting the ball out of his hands, hopefully he'll be fresher coming down the stretch. And Grosby has made this joke, but like, one of the things you really got to look at is why not use Saquon in the tush push? Like, it's just another way to take more hits off of Jalen Hurts.
It'd be like a tush and quad push. It'd be the whole lower half.
They do the tush push because it works. When they need a yard, they know they're going to get it. But you do have a quarterback whose knee was bothering him all last year. And you're running play multiple times a game where, like, literally everyone from both teams is on top of him. Like, that can't help. So they have to rethink that. Look, the offensive scheme, I think, was a mess last year. And I think bringing in Kellen Moore will help with certain things. And bringing in Saquon Barkley will help with certain things. Jalen Hurts was very good against the blitz 2 years ago. He was terrible against the blitz last year. A lot of that was they weren't picking up blitzes, right? So whose fault was that? Was it scheme? Was it him? Was it, the running back situation? Whatever. There's a lot different, and I think they feel like they've addressed it. Jalen Hurts, until last year, was a guy that we saw get better every single year. He's a guy that knows what he has to do to take the next step, whatever that step is in a particular offseason, particular season. So I have faith that he'll do it again.
Neat, quickly, go.
Yeah, no, I was just wanted to talk more about how Ryan Clark's was at the upfronts, and apparently Jalen Hurts came up to him. So, like, you are everywhere. You're the most popular man in America right now. There might be an opening to run for office real soon. Maybe you should do that. There's nothing that RC can't do. I will vote for you.
We are a long way from Culture Wednesdays, for sure.
I was going to say, we went from Culture Wednesday to Sports Beach in Paris, the white party, and people coming up to you at the upfront and wanting to have conversations.
I'm just trying to be a good man. But the other piece about Jalen Hurts, though, is this team's never had a problem running the ball. So I know adding Saquon Barkley is a thing because they feel like you have an upgraded position, but Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, all of those guys had great years for the Philadelphia Eagles running the football. This is about adding to the pass game.
RC. You trying to host the show too? Don't steer us back to Jalen Hurts. I want to make fun of you for being a celebrity. That's what I'm here to do. I want to talk to you about being the king of all of media right now. That's what I want to do. Jalen Hurts can play. Saquon is good.
Well, you know what?
Microsoft, y'all got to stop Dom. I tried to bring you with me, man. You didn't want to come. You've been at track meets.
Parenthetically, if you want to have fun,
Hey, Chiefs fans. It's your Kansas City Chiefs news specialist here, bringing you the latest updates with that dynamic and interactive style you love. Let's get straight to it because we've got a lot to discuss today. Patrick Mahomes, our QB1, is back at training camp and, as always, he's innovating. This time, he brought a TV to camp. That's right, folks. Mahomes is bringing NCAA College Football 25 and the Olympics to St. Joseph. Now, tell me, is this going to help or hinder his concentration? 思考的脸. But let's get serious. Mahomes is a natural leader, a true MVP, and he knows what he's doing. He's there early, while most of the veterans don't show up until Saturday. This shows his commitment to the team and the quest for a Super Bowl three-peat. And after winning a Super Bowl, the pressure only increases. Mahomes said, "After you win the Super Bowl, when you don't win, it's even worse." And he's right. The expectations are huge, and he's ready to face this challenge. Now, let's be honest. Is this strategy of bringing a TV to camp the best decision? Is he underestimating the importance of staying fully focused? Or is this just a way to relax and keep morale high? I want to know your opinions. So, Chiefs fans, what do you think? Is Mahomes right to bring a TV to camp? Will it help or hinder? Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's debate. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with other Chiefs fans. Let's keep this conversation going and make the Chiefs community stronger than ever. Until next time, and go Chiefs!